What's up everybody, Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little Serath in the jungle. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Jungle Assassin, Fast Travel, Lifesteal, Piercing Basic, Critical Hits, and Quick Exit for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Demolitionist, Living Guardian, Poised Aggressor, Nitro Boost, Sand Speeder, Pressure Hunter, Heavy Hitter, Sacred Alchemy, and lastly Shatter Golem. Now since I am playing on that newer account, I don't have all the gems or all the cards yet. That's why I've only got a 9-card deck, as well as I am not using Jungle Lifesteal. Now, if you have access to Jungle Lifesteal, it is a rank 1 gem for Vitality. If you are planning on being in the jungle with one of these non-sustaining heroes like Serath, I would highly recommend picking that up. And, you know, you might miss out on Quick Exit, but Quick Exit is not near as important as that Jungle Lifesteal for this early game. Now, I like taking out 2 camps and then going for the green buff. That's kind of how I've been playing the jungle, especially on these heroes that have a lack of sustain. And I am burning mana to clear jungle camps because I know after I get green, I'm typically going to have to back. So I'm not too concerned about keeping mana in case I need to make an escape or anything like that. So I would recommend maybe picking up Chastise for your first ability, as well as pick up that Living Guardian. Living Guardian is a great card if you are lacking some sustain in the jungle, because you do get that little bonus armor that really does help out. Now you can try to tank or, you know, kind of kite the minions, but it doesn't work near as well as it used to, as well as it's very hard to get the minions to stack up behind that green buff, so I just haven't really been doing it. It doesn't seem to be as useful as it used to be, but no big deal. Now after I back, I go ahead and head over to that off lane, and this is one thing that I have not seen a lot of newer jungles doing. You need to gank the off lane or gank mid lane in the beginning of the game. You don't really need to focus on the safe lane. You know, that's why it's called the safe lane. We are able to wrap up that Murdoch kill. Now, Quang is level 3, so I'm like, okay, let's go in on this gadget. And with his tether, we should be able to finish her off, and I'm kind of waiting for it, and he actually never ends up throwing it down, and I stayed under tower entirely way too long. You know, I was... That's kind of one of my downfalls, is since I am such a team player, I expect other people to be as well. But that is a very big learning lesson. If you are typically going in solo queues or not in comms with your other heroes, you know, maybe you should not tower dive, and, you know, tower diving with an ADC this early in the match is just really not smart. I was just really expecting that to be a very, very fast kill, and then we could get out, and, you know, I just got a little too thirsty, so ended up going down. You know, it really is unfortunate that that happened, but no big deal. We end up getting back in lane, or getting back into the jungle, and we're going to continue our farm up. Now, that was my only death of this match, and it was a very careless death. You know, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to really break down a whole lot of deaths, and, you know, so y'all can kind of see that aspect of this match. We have pretty much a flawless match, other than that, you know, very careless play. But at the same time, you know, that I was really expecting that tether, so, you know, that might teach you, hey, don't expect your teammates to do anything unless you're in comms with them. Now, Serath is a ADC. As we all know, she's really focused on doing lots of damage, and she is a late game hero. So this means you need to get farm, and that's why you see me spending a lot more time in the jungle than I have in my past jungle videos, because getting farm for me is more about card points than actual getting levels. So I definitely need to spend as much time as possible getting that farm, and, you know, by then hopefully we'll make something happen. Now, I did clear out those jungles, and then I actually head over back to our off lane. You know, we get a fairly decent gank, but again, we missed that tether, we missed that CC from Quang, so we're really not able to capitalize on this gank, and you know, that is unfortunate, but we forced them out. I went ahead and let him know, hey man, you really got a tether. When we get into those type of engagements, you know, Quang, 90% of his kit relies on him getting that tether. That is one reason they made the tether the size of the map. So if you can land that tether, then you can do your entire rotation on them and, you know, a substantial amount of damage. If you do miss that tether, it's, you know, it's kind of not worth. But if you don't even use it, it's even worse. Now, I do see Gideon is very low here in mid, and he's actually out of mana. So this is going to allow me to get a very easy gank on him. And sure enough, Morga sees it. She actually heads over, and, you know, even though we didn't need her, she was there to make sure we, you know, secured that kill, which is great. We actually end up taking out both river buffs. Unfortunately, neither of our mid laners are really taking out river buffs this match, which, you know, you can't expect everybody to. But for everybody that doesn't know, river buffs spawn in at 3 minutes and then every odd minute after that. So at 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on. And you actually now get a ping in the little chat that says river buffs and gold buffs spawning soon. So that spawn, or you get that notification 10 seconds before they spawn. So, you know, that gives you 10 seconds to run around and position yourself so you can take those buffs. And, you know, hey, that's great. Now, after I secure that green buff, I actually end up heading to mid lane. And, you know, this Gideon, he was pushing up a little bit far, and he actually didn't use his escape, and I'm a little confused as why he didn't. But hey, no big deal. We actually wrap up that kill, and I'm able to back from here. You know, that kind of put me over the edge of, you know, getting a 7 point, so I'm actually going to put on my Pressure Hunter, and that's really going to allow me to start cranking out some damage. Now, Pressure Hunter is a great card if you haven't used it. It does kind of a ramp more damage if the enemy has more vitality than you, and if you are playing an ADC, you typically have less vitality than anybody you're going against. Now, once I do land back into the jungle, or kind of run through the jungle, I see something's going down in our safe lane. So I'm definitely going to head over there and make sure we wrap up these kills. Now, I am in comms with our Steel, so he kind of knew I was heading this way, and we're absolutely able to take out Wraith. And, you know, we kind of go in on this Chimera a little bit, but, you know, hey, there's not a whole lot we can do. But from here, we're going to push into the tower. Now, it's kind of key for the jungler. If you get a pick in a lane, it's not always best to go back jungling. Help out your tower. Take that tower. Make sure you can secure it. Quang or Wukong and Steel probably wouldn't have been able to take that tower by themselves, especially since that gadget showed up. So all three of us there were able to take that out, and, you know, hey, great. We did end up losing our ADC, unfortunately, but we got that tier 1. Now, if you noticed, I used my Ascend, and I was kind of looking around. I didn't realize Wukong had actually died. So I was kind of looking around so I could actually help him out, and that's why I fell back down. You know, luckily we were able to get out of that situation, and we negated most of that damage from that Gadget ult. And, you know, since Gadget is playing as the support, she's really lacking in cards at this point. And, you know, so we're not too concerned about the damage she has right now. Now, from here, I'm going to just go ahead and head back to base, kind of put on some more cards. I'm able to get that Sand Speeder, and I preferred that build over the Heavy Hitter. But I'm just going to kind of run around and look for a pick. Now, I see, you know, we've got a lot of enemies low, and they're going to have to back. So we might be able to make a play happen, and then I see Chimera heading over to our Quang. So I want to make sure we can help him out. I'm able to go in on that Murdoch a little bit, you know, back him off, and then Chimera ends up heading over, and we're able to actually take him out. You can see the amount of damage we're able to do to him. is just crazy. We're doing a great job of farming, getting those kills, and, you know, this is really allowing us to do tons and tons of damage. Now, Gadget does end up showing up, and, you know, unfortunately, we're not able to make a whole lot happen. I did use my immune inside of that Tesla dome, so it negated a lot of that damage, and that is one thing that you'll kind of have to get used to as you play Serath. You can use that Q to negate just tons and tons of damage, and I think I actually do it in this match, but you can negate like a Gadget ult or I mean a Gadget sticky bomb. You can negate a Countess ult or steal, you know, pretty much anybody that has just a boom burst damage, you can negate that with that Q. And, you know, that takes a little bit to get used to, but it's a great kind of ability to use and try out and, you know, really master that, which I'm definitely not a Serath master. Now, I continue to do my little jungle thing, and I'm just going to head back to base. I want to pick up that heavy hitter and kind of swap out some cards. You know, I'm getting a little powerful here, so I definitely want to take full advantage of it. And then Steel says, hey man, I'm in trouble. So I'm going to head over to Steel, and I'm actually able to take out this Wraith with him. So, you know, that was great. We had some real good communication there. Of course, Steel might have survived that anyways, but me heading over there, that ensured that he wasn't going to go down. Now, I do see Gadget over here. She was able to take out that river buff, and I end up using my Q, which completely stops you from moving instead of using Ascend. And that's another thing, you know, you have to get used to Q. Not only to immune damage, but it completely stops your movement. And the more enemies around you when you use Q, the longer you stand still and stay immune. So if you're chasing someone down and you use Q to get a hit on them, but it doesn't kill them, chances are they're going to get away unless your Ascend is on cooldown. Now, Murdoch, you know, he's had great map awareness. Every time I've showed up, he's been able to, you know, shotgun blast me off. And the green buff actually goes off, and, you know, so I grab a little tower aggro, which, you know, it's unfortunate, but hey, no big deal. We took out this off-lane tower, and we're just absolutely dominating the tower game at this moment. And we definitely want to keep this advantage. We never want to let them push back and really, you know, make some progress. Because, you know, when you get in matches like this, if you lose that kind of forward momentum, sometimes it can be devastating. Now, if you see here, I used my Q to actually immune that Gadget bomb, and that's exactly what I was talking about doing. When you do get hit with burst damage, you know, a Morgesh ult or something like that, those can do massive amounts of damage to Serath because she is a weaker hero. So by using Q to actually negate a lot of that damage, like I did again, kind of, I tried to, you can do that, and it works out very, very well with Serath. Now, from here, I still, you know, I would like to get a little more fed, and I was able to take out both those river buffs, which I've got black. Now I have green, and I say, you know what, I'm going to go for Raptors. We haven't got Raptors yet. They're still sitting there. We're 17 minutes into the match. I'm going to take out Raptors, and with that green buff, with my Living Guardian online, I'm able to take them out, and that's really going to put me ahead on damage. I've now got Pressure Hunter and that heavy hitter. I need to save up a little bit in Vitality so I can actually put that Sacred Alchemy on, which, you know, to be honest, I typically like getting that on a little bit earlier, but I just kind of forgot. Now, I did hear Gideon taking out that camp, and I'm able to, you can see, I go over there and just two-shot him. He's a little low on farm and everything like that, and, you know, hey, no big deal. Now, I do dive in and try to do a little bit of damage to Gideon, or to their Gadget, and luckily it was just enough for Morgesh to head in and finish her off. We're able to actually down this mid inhib. You know, 19-minute inhib, that's great, especially a mid lane inhib. Now, there's absolutely no way we're going to win at this point. We cannot push far enough in to actually end the game, but I can take out this Murdoch. And, you know, I kind of was juking him around. I was kind of waiting for him to get pushed out a little bit. And then you see, once he got in range, I'm able to collapse on him, take him out very, very quickly. Now, from here, the enemy Wraith has been pushing our safe lane, so I'm actually going to head over. You know, Steel said, hey, I'm going to go engage on them, and that's whenever I saw that Chimera heading over to me, so I said, hey, you know, I'm going to get out. I do see Steel. He actually rewinds Steel right there, and I'm able to one-shot that Wraith. You know, Wraith did everything he could to get away other than use his ultimate, and you know, it was just lucky I was in the right position that I was, and we're able to take him out as well. So we're having a pretty good match. You know, their Gideon actually comes in right here. You can see their Gideon is very, very under farm. And I'm actually able to immune his rock, and then, you know, we just hit him a couple of times and take him out. Their Gideon is just severely under farm. Our Morgesh has just been harassing him like crazy. And that's really just kept him from being able to farm. Now, I am able to head back, and I put on Sacred Alchemy. You know, this Sacred Alchemy is an amazing card, and if you have not used it, it is just a very, very solid card. And I would highly recommend using it on a melee hero. You can go Death Chaos, which, you know, that's a fairly popular one as well. You get that Vampiric Blade where you have that high percentage of lifesteal, and lifesteal works very well with Seraph's Q because you get lifesteal off of, you know, everything she hits. So if there's a wave of 100 minions and you Q in the middle of it, you're going to get, you know, all your health back instantly. And it's very solid. It feels very good. But, you know, I gotta say, I really like Sacred Alchemy. It just feels good. Now, I do dive that gadget, but I did not realize Morgesh had her mark. So, you know, Morgesh actually ends up getting that kill. But that's great. You know, we're able to secure that kill. Feels solid. I did see Murdoch chasing me, and, you know, it's like, hey, man, you know, whoa, what are you going to do, Murdoch? And he does the same kind of thing. He heads under tower thinking the tower's going to protect him, and it's just not going to. You know, I'm Seraph, baby. So, we take him out. And, you know, this is really kind of the end of the match. We're just going to really push here and get the win. But you can see I am very low. But with that lifesteal, I am able to, you know, kind of heal back up. And with Sacred Alchemy, I've got that shield as long as I'm hitting things. And right there, I'm able to cue that Gadget Bomb again, which, you know, that Gadget Bomb might have actually killed me. But we're able to take Gadget out. And, you know, we're able to take that Gideon out as well, and, you know, it's just game over. All in all, Seraph is a really fun hero to play. She does take a little bit to get used to if you're more of a caster or things like that, or if you're an ADC player, but you've mainly stayed with ranged ADCs. Playing a melee ADC does take a little bit to get used to, but if you can get good with her, she's an absolute amazing hero. Well, that's going to wrap it up, guys. I'm sorry I didn't have more deaths. You know, I promise I'll play much worse in the future so I can break down those deaths for y'all guys. But thanks for watching, and if you did enjoy, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.